I think maybe there was too many after parties last night, but we're starting a little bit late, but we've got an amazing 2 days ahead of us. First things first, I definitely want to say thanks to Alice Capital for putting on the event. Thank you for the speakers that are coming over the next 2 days. Thank you for our sponsors for making this whole event possible, and most importantly, thank you for you guys for attending this event. This is the second time that Raphael and Chris have put on TOKEN2049. And I'm actually even more excited than when I came last year. It's going to be an amazing 2 days. There's a lot of different topics we're going to talk about. Everything from stable coins, the maturity of smart contracts, the state of the futures market, decentralization, artificial intelligence. It's going to be a jam-packed 48 hours. The interesting thing is that whilst this is the main event and the main piece, there's an enormous amount of après-ski. We have the Ethereum Super Meetup coming tonight with Vitalik. We have the Litecoin Meetup tomorrow with Charlie Lee. And we have an enormous amount of events all throughout Hong Kong to celebrate Crypto Week. And it actually solidifies Hong Kong as the premier jurisdiction in Asia for crypto and blockchain. But it's been a year since the first TOKEN2049, and a lot has happened. I was going to say what has happened in 2018. 2018 started awesome. Everyone was a genius. We bought crypto, we held, and it felt really good. And then, unfortunately, things started to decline, and Lambo Land looked further away, and it sort of got a little bit dull. We were heading towards a market capitalization of $1 trillion. There was people on the sidelines that were looking at this market cap. It was piquing interest. People had dismissed it for a long time. And when we were heading towards that $1 trillion market cap, it was starting to get a lot of interest. Unfortunately, today, that same asset class, that same market cap for entirety of crypto is now only worth $130 billion. My Bitcoin that was $20,000 last year is now worth a mere 20% of what it was at its all-time high, trading around somewhere between almost $4,000 today. So what happened? Last year, we witnessed the hyperbolic means to raise capital. Okay, and I'm talking obviously about ICOs or initial coin offerings. There was no faster way to raise capital than to do an ICO. And we saw projects raise millions of dollars, with some of the projects raising billions of dollars. It was something that has never been seen before. And no faster had we become drunk on these crazy returns, these 20x, 30x returns in weeks of this initial investment. We then went through this phase of a hangover. Okay? We were left scratching our heads, trying to work out what it was that people were actually investing in. But the reality is the technology worked. And I think what we'll be talking about, one of the things today, is what is this next potential boom using that same technology that we started with ICOs, meaning obviously security tokens. So we'll talk about that today. 2018, we saw more blockchain protocols introduced in 2018 than any former year in blockchain history. And the blockchain protocols were all claiming to be better, stronger, faster, shinier than Bitcoin. And the reality is that some of these claims are still yet to be seen in the real world. They haven't been battle-hardened. They haven't been tested. And some of these claims, about being better, faster, stronger, shinier, we're still yet to see whether that actually materializes. And I personally think that's one of the reasons why Bitcoin's dominance is back to its all-time high of over 50%. In summary, 2018 saw more forks than a diplomatic dinner party. Tough crowd, wow. Come on, guys, you need to give me a break here. Last year, we saw stablecoins. We saw the race for stablecoin supremacy. Crypto participants have been fed up with Tether, and they were demanding full audits, transparency, insurance, legitimate banking channels for these USD fiat alternatives. And as a result, we saw a lot of entrants come into the market. We now have over, what I'd say, 30 genuine contenders for this stablecoin supremacy. Pax, USDC, TrueUSD have all come into the market to try and fill this gap where Tether has sort of left it. And the irony of this position today, though, is that despite all these new entrants coming in to try and fill these attributes that were missing, Tether still remains the largest market capitalization stablecoin today. So you can almost say, we all, as participants, we want better, but at the same time, it would almost sound that some participants don't actually care. Last year was no different from any other year in crypto history. We continue to see exchanges hacked. We continue to see thefts from the venues that we do call crypto exchanges. In January of 2018, we saw the world's largest exchange theft of over $500 million. That is insane. Unfortunately, I'm of the opinion that this will continue until either decentralized exchanges take its place. That's a rather big claim, or whether we see regulation and insurance, more legitimate, transparent, credible venues come into operation. Will 2019 be the year of the DEX? We'll have to wait and see. So the sector in 2018, we experienced extreme volatility, and the industry was chaotic with mismanaged expectations. So all in all, it was a pretty dark and gloomy 2018. I think we can say that winter isn't coming. I think we can say that winter has hit us full force. And we're probably maybe potentially, as we'll discuss over the next 2 days, maybe potentially in the rebound. So 2018 was dark and gloomy, but it wasn't all that bad. Despite the market consolidation, we saw an enormous amount of investment actually come into the crypto sector in the way of infrastructure. And I'm not just talking about ICOs. The 10 largest crypto investments or crypto infrastructure investments last year, which were traditional equity investments, not utility coins, not redemption, not membership coins, or anything else to do with crypto, still raised over $1.5 billion. So there is still an enormous amount of infrastructure coming into this ecosystem despite the consolidation. 2018 saw, again, more institutional participation come into the scene. And we're seeing that continuation happen today, despite that consolidation with the likes of Julius Baer, JP Morgan, Fidelity, all participating and taking a stake in the crypto and blockchain space. 2018, we saw a lot of regulators actually acknowledge that this asset class is here to stay. When I came into this business in 2013, the view or stance from the regulators was, this isn't money, it's not a security, we don't want to regulate it. And some regulators went as far as actually trying to ban Bitcoin, and we all know how sort of silly that is. And in those instances, the regulators have actually done a U-turn. So we are seeing more regulatory clarity legitimize and provide credibility to this asset class. It's also defining the playbook, the rule book that's helping people that have been sitting on the sidelines to enter this market, understanding how it is that they're going to interact with this industry. Hong Kong is obviously my hometown. I'm a little bit biased. But I do believe that the regulators in Asia are actually the most innovative, with the likes of Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, all taking a very vocal and clear stance on what it is where crypto and blockchain is going. Raphael had asked me last night to provide some predictions. It's something that I don't generally like doing, but I can't say no to Raphael. So my predictions for this year: demand for professional and credible trading venues will increase. There's a lot of the demographic and the maturity of the participants in this asset class have definitely improved. And whilst the demographic has improved for the market participants, the people that want to trade crypto, the lack of professional trading venues is still something that we're yet to see. But I do believe we'll see that in 2019. Demand for institutional products is going to grow. With the likes of OSL, we're talking to clients today, and they want options, they want lending products, structured products, synthetics, swaps, all within Bitcoin and crypto. And I do believe that we'll see a very strong rise in the options products that we offer today. Regulatory clarity will definitely assist with the professionalization and legitimization of this asset class. And with respect to this new scrutiny and this new definition of regulation, I'm of the strong opinion that some of these compliance requirements will actually cause a headache for some of the participants today. And we will see some consolidation with the trading venues out today. We will see some mergers, and we will most likely see some people actually exit this asset class altogether as a result. Security tokens are coming. We've got a number of discussions over the next 48 hours discussing security tokens. A good friend of mine, Anthony Lewis from R3, is on moderating a panel today. My personal opinion is that it is very much still a chicken and egg. We all want security tokens. We all want security token secondary markets, but we still don't really know how it's all going to work. And hopefully that's something that we'll have some clarity on over the next 2 days. We will see continued improvements on on-chain and off-chain scaling, and I'm sure that we'll have some healthy debate around that sort of topic. And finally, my prediction is that the custody piece of crypto, it will be solved, if it's not solved already. potentially solving one of the most difficult components preventing a lot of this institutional flow from entering the market today, which is holding Bitcoin and crypto. And we'll see some of those discussions as well. On closing remarks, we have to remember that this asset class is tiny, so tiny. Okay, Bitcoin only traded $2.2 trillion US in 2018, and $130 billion total market cap of crypto. It doesn't usually pique a lot of interest. Okay, that's just fact. But if we in this room believe that people want greater financial transparency, and if we, as the people in this room, believe that people want to control their own money, and if we believe that this technology has the potential to provide financial inclusion to 50% of the world's population that don't have access today, then we have to surely, at the very least, we have to acknowledge that this has some potential to disrupt finance as we know it, or at the very least, help keep finance honest. Guys, the next 2 days comprise of Asia's premier crypto event, and you guys are here. Okay, so prepare yourself to be challenged, prepare yourself to be inspired, prepare yourself to be excited. As our traders at OSL say, when they respect to trading crypto, may the trend be your friend. Have a great 2 days. Thank you very much.